Like my story?
No, not your story, a story. Since you can't keep your mouth shut long enough for me to read my paper, tell me a story.
I don't think I know any stories.
You don't know any stories?
No.
All right, I'll tell you a story. This is a newspaper, right? It's 90% bullshit, but it's entertaining. That's why I read it, because it entertains me. You won't let me read it. So you entertain me with your bullshit. Tell me a story right now. Go.
Job well done.
What's up, fight fans? We are back at it with another edition here at Round One Sports TV. I am always your host, Edwin. Where do all fights start?
Round one.
Let's go. Let's go. Yo, excuse me. Well, thank you for tuning in here. Another edition here at Round One Sports TV. Where we talk boxing. We have, some upcoming fights, but I want to know what you guys are thinking about out there in the boxing world. What are some of the biggest fights? I'm anxious to see David the Monster Benavidez back in the ring. I want to see him back in action. I got to see Ben Whitaker in New York. He dispatched of Popeye and shoosh, like quick, right? So I want to see what's up with Ben Whitaker. I want to see where he goes. Maybe a potential fight with Najee Lopez in the future. Because they're putting this young man Ben Whitaker and up there with the big boys. But they're managing him well. I want to see what happens with him because he's actually turning out to be a better boxer than I once thought. I thought he was more show glamour. He's starting to concentrate on the sport and dispersing his opponents. So now he's got my attention. Other fighters I want to eagerly see back in the ring, fighters, young fighters like Keith Tsunami, Cologne. I want to see him back in action. I want to see him back in the ring. There's a lot of fighters I want to see back. Shit, even Subriel Matias. These guys, they'll lose or something will happen and we'll quickly be like, whatever. But and then when we have these gaps in between where we got like no fights, shit, I'll take those guys right now. In between of like it's just in the zone and all these packages I'm paying for Paramount Plus and this and that. Now they want me to pay for ESPN. I'm not doing it, right? And I ain't got no fights to watch. Max Kellerman is talking about Zuffa's bringing back boxing, right? And the fact that Zuffa's bringing, well, then, because allegedly we don't fight enough, right? And I was on the line like, bullshit. I remember back in the day, used to be Friday night fights. Every Friday we have fights. Every Friday. Every Friday there was boxing. And I don't know what the hell Max Kellerman is talking about, right? But Zuffa's not doing that right now. Every Friday we don't get every Saturday, every Sunday we don't get a Zuffa card. So they're not even on the level of Friday night fights. So, back, Zuffa is supposed to be this entity that's changing boxing, providing more boxing. Where are they when we need them? If you're just far in between, just like the rest of them, and you're just another entity, another promoting entity in the sport of boxing, we already have that. Do something about it. Make Zuffa Friday night fights. Now we're going somewhere. Now we talking. Now every week you're providing boxing for the boxing heads that are out there that want to see fights. I might not want to watch every fight that ever comes across, but somebody else will. And the fights they don't watch, I'll watch. but it will provide the boxing fans with content, fights. Now that's change. You understand? Then, like in other boxing news, you hear some of these stories that have been going around in boxing. Devin Haney tax. That Devin Haney wants to take the lion's share of the money and blah, 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 bullshit. I'm calling bullshit. We grown ass men in here. Okay? If you're gonna lie to me and you're gonna tell me some bullshit ass story, at least make one up that makes sense. At least do that. Okay? You're not taking all the particulars. You're only thinking one way. They name streets after people like that. One way thinkers. The Haney tax. You know what they're going to tell you? That Haney is taxing the game and that he's always taking the lion's share, not giving the fighters what they deserve. Blah, 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 blah. Bullshit. Bullshit. Because once upon a time, Devin Haney was stuck with the same situation. He made the right choices and the right sacrifices to be at the level where he's at to call the shots and demand the money he's rightfully so entitled to. You're just coming across a man that's already established. And you got other guys coming up in the game not established, right? And the key to the whole key to all of this is simple. Beat Devin Haney and take everything away from him. That's it. That's all you got to do. This fake narrative of a Haney tax, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. That does not exist. It's not a real thing. It's a business thing. He put himself to get there. You need to put yourself there. See, Haney wasn't a Haney tax when he went and fought George Kamboza for basically peanuts. And they gave that other guy, George, $10 million. Where was the Haney tax then? No, he established himself. He put himself in this. He took less pay. He took the short end, Haney, to get here. And now that he's here and he wants what's owed to him and he's standing on it, you're going to compare that to a guy that's coming up trying to fight him and say the Haney tax, he ain't paying these guys? But you won't point out fighters like Gervonta Davis. Nobody makes money fighting that guy except Ryan. What Haney tax? Just another label they're trying to put on American talent. And sometimes it comes from who? The Americans that put these labels on these good fighters. I didn't say that Devin Haney's the greatest fighter or the best thing since sliced bread. I never said that. He's far from a bum. And he's far from being in the position to negotiate like these guys are in. Devin Haney's past that. Keyshawn Davis and Devin might be the same age, but they're not in the same place in their career now, are they? Devin's accomplished a lot more. And these are just the facts. Listen, if Keyshawn and these dudes was moving in the right way and half these content creators were saying the right shit, well then, you know what I mean? I would be like, all right, Devin Haney's okay. But what they're doing is, you see, here's my thing. And I've said this, I got receipts. You guys heard me say it on the channels. If Devin Haney's so soft, he's so pillow-fisted, why don't you just beat him and take everything he got? If he's that easy, he's that sweet, and the Devin Haney tax is real, then do the right thing. Make one sacrifice, storm the castle and defeat the king, take him off the throne, and you take the place. Now you set the way of the land, the law, right? It would be you. That's what I don't get. And it's like, yo, round one, you're like rocking with Devin. And I'm like, if you only knew, bro. If you only knew. Like, no. But what they're saying and what's going on when it doesn't match, I just gotta call it. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, hold up. If this dude is that sweet, and y'all, blah, 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 he ain't up like that. He trying to take all the money, this, that, and the third. Why didn't Shakur fight him? Why didn't Keyshawn fight him? Why didn't Tank fight him? Like, why ain't you guys fighting him? And I don't know. We might just get in a good world, Tio versus Devin. We might get that. Tio might be a little bit better. Maybe he might be a little slower. Maybe Devin stops Tio. Shit, maybe Tio stops Devin. This is boxing, right? It could go either way. It could go either way. I think Devin's slightly more athletic and skillful than Tio. But you can never count Tio out in a fight. Never. His little tricks, Shakur just, he stayed on the outside mostly and he relied on his speed. He was a lot faster than Tio. And he would get to the punch better than Tio and shit. And unfortunately, Tio had you know, just a bad performance of himself. And the reason for that is Shakur made him look like that. Anybody else, Tio doesn't look like that. And he doesn't bust up Tio's face like that. Shakur busted up Tio's face. And as far as the top guys go, I'm a bit confused because I'm sitting here saying, at one point in time, I'm like, yo, Shakur, fuck Devin up. And I was on that. I was like, yeah, I don't think Devin's ready for Shakur, right? Because I thought that Shakur was gonna be it, but Shakur hasn't been demonstrating that killer instinct. It's been the opposite. He's been running from the smoke and he's been setting up everybody else in front of him. Then I kind of like had a different perspective on Shakur. I was like, wait a minute, bro. I've seen this movie before. And I was just like, because Shakur did a lot of bullshit moves. Well, fucked it up. One of the moves he did in recent that fucked me up was he denied the fight against Ryo. That right there, I was like, nah, Shakur, come on, bro. People are gonna figure this shit out quick. They're gonna figure out that Edwin De Los Santos was the one that held you to a stalemate, Shakur. It was actually the fewest punches thrown in a boxing match in that weight division in history at one point in time. It was that fight. And you don't want your name associated with those kind of records. Edwin De Los Santos held Shakur to a stalemate. El Rayo also lost to De Los Santos. El Rayo later went back and fought Edwin De Los Santos. Talk about fighting your adversity, fighting your fears. This guy stopped you. He stopped you. And then you go and rematch him and brutally knock him out. Talk about getting that monkey off your back and getting it back in blood. El Rayo got it back in blood, something Shakur never did. And when Shakur Stevenson saw El Rayo dispatch of the guy he went 12 rounds with, and it was gun shy, El Rayo stood in the fire. In fact, Edwin De Los Santos caught him. Hit El Rayo with a good shot. He walked through it. He said, I'm good. Boom! And he knocked out Edwin De Los Santos. Then you're going to deny the fight, Shakur? Knowing people are going to put this together. Wait a minute. Of course you'll deny the fight. You don't want to fight the guy that beat the shit out of the guy you couldn't get to. And El Rayo made it look easy. He made it look easy. And right there, and that move, the old Shockey Foster move, the Keyshawn Devin move, the Tio fight, Shakur was moving funny. He was moving funny, and I had to acknowledge it. It's not that I went from Shakur to Devin. Nah. when the fighters are doing and moving right, I'm just gonna say, and it's gonna sound like, yo, Edwin Rock with that. Nah, bro, he's not in my top 5 favorite fighters. No, Devin, no. I like the young man. I got nothing against him, but I'll just always speak freely on Devin. Devin, I'll treat him like any other fighter. He's no more a favorite of mine than any other fighter. He's not in a different category like Terrence Crawford, Naoya Inoue. He's not there for me like Xander Zayas. Those guys are in a different category for me. I will tell you, listen, I am a fan of this guy, this and that, blah, blah, blah. They've earned my respect that much that I'm like, yeah, I fuck with the dude because I told you my criteria for fighters. I'm sick and tired of being a fan of these fighters and they break my heart, bro. See these dudes flipping their cars, smacking their wives in elevators, getting hauled off to jail, drugs in their pocket. That shit breaks my heart. And then I'm watching the rise and fall of my favorite fighter, so I don't get emotionally attached to the fighter. It also allows me to speak freely. I'm just gonna, when you're moving right, I'm just gonna say what you're doing. Devin's moving right now. He's moving right now. He's got all you dudes looking bad. That's the fucking problem. The guy you guys call pillow fisted. Pillow Fist is doing all this to you guys. Come on, guys. And like, what? We gotta be sitting here being like, nah, Devin's trash. That's what we gotta do. You guys do that. I'm just gonna call what I see. Pillow Fist got you all shook. That's yo, man. I'm sitting here and I'm saying to myself, like, this is not happening. This is not happening. You know, I'm like, Tiger Johnson's calling him sweet. You know what Tank feel about him. And Devin got a lot of scrutiny over the Ryan shit. And here comes Pillow Fist. Oh, Ryan Norman Jr. down. Give me that belt. You want the smoke next? How about you? How about you? Yo, he's punking all of you, man. And that's just the reality of it. That's just the reality of it, man. I'm like, yo, I'm on the outside. I get it. It's like, yo, round one, why? Because all the Keyshawn fans and shit like that. Well, then do something about it. Have Keyshawn beat him up. Oh, wait, he ducked him. Have Shakur go beat him up. Go ahead, call them dudes. Devin right there. And tell Devin they coming. Tell him, call him. Hey, yo, we sending so and so. Let him know. That's all I'm saying. We from the show me state in round one sports talk. Come on, people. Hit that like button for me. We from the show me state. You're gonna have to show me. And until y'all silence Devin right now, because he's hot right now, and you guys did this for him. You guys stamped that Debo name, bro. Keyshawn Davis, man. Y'all did this shit. It's not me talking like, oh, Devin's the best baby. No, I don't gotta say any of that shit. He's doing just fine right now off of y'all. Bro, he clowning y'all. It's crazy. Shakur don't want the smoke. And it's like I'm sitting here saying to myself, what would make me deny the fight, right? If in actuality, right, I'm Keyshawn Davis. I'm supposed to fight Devin Haney. Okay. Going into the fight, making videos, my claim is Devin don't want to fight me. Because if Devin ever fights me, I'm whooping his ass and I'm taking that belt. So the minute we get into negotiations, it becomes about money. Yo, how much is it? 75, 25? I'm cool with that. Give me my 25%. Make sure my team is paid. I'll take a couple dollars. That's not what I'm here for. What I'm here for is to give you your first loss, take that belt, and take your status with me. I beat you, I become the face of boxing. Never mind what I'm getting paid for in this fight. Because you see, going into the fight, I really believe I'm going to beat him. And I'm going to show the world that I'm the world champion, that I'm better than you. How is it that when the door opened, we walked in, it became about money? And it seemed like no dollar amount pleased you. No, this wasn't about fighting anymore. This wasn't about world titles. This wasn't about whether or not Keyshawn believed in his heart's of heart he can beat Devin. Because when you make sacrifices, right, and you don't get this back, oh, there's a Haney tax. Oh, there's a Haney tax. Well, then be the tax collector and go over there and tax his ass. Simple. Simple. All that Haney tax goes away. One shot. Oh, can you say rematch? How much money are you going to get in the rematch? Now you're the A side. Now you tax him. It's not like the Haney tax happens in every single fight. No. Haney made sacrifices. When I look back at Haney's career, he took less money in multiple fights. So now he's at the point where he wants what's rightfully his. That's not a Haney tax, that's earned. There's a difference. We're not getting these fights because of Devin Haney. No, Devin Haney doesn't need to budge. He needs you to understand. I got myself here. And if you want everything I got, come take it away. Let's go. Let's go. That's all Haney's saying. And I got to respect that. Besides the crazy shit I heard against Rolly, because, you know, Rolly's like, he's ducking me, Haney. I'm not sure what Haney had in the works, but I think this is what it was. So maybe Devin Haney had his mindset on that kind of fight. I don't know. I don't know. Right? Haney has not avoided no smoke. Every guy they put in front, he even took Loma on. I can't say anything about the dude. I don't got nothing. All I got are rumors, titles they put on him, pillow fisted, email champion, bullshit. That's all you got. Oh, and I got that Ryan performance. And what happened after the debacle, and that's I don't got anything bad like that. Like Devin's actually doing Devin shit. Right? So I'm like, okay, cool. So for a long time, I've been on the fence, like, you know, Devin, I'm hard on Devin, right? I'll be like, this is like this time and a few other times because I've been catching on in the like last 2 months, right? I've been like really seeing how Devin's moving because prior to the 2 months, I expect more from him. I will tell you, Devin's not a completed product in my head, in my mind. He's not complete. He's not he's a well-rounded fighter. He has, he doesn't have like superior, he's not superior in all attributes, but Devin Haney is a well-rounded fighter, yes. Complete fighter, that's where I'm very opinionated on Devin. Because I'm not sure if a lot of people understand me, right? Okay. I think that Devin Haney is a very privileged fighter. He was a very privileged fighter coming up in the amateurs. He was very fortunate to have Bill Haney as a dad. Bill Haney did that for his son. What Bill Haney tried to do to Devin is actually teach him a lesson. And what ended up happening through father and son, Devin came out of the fire in Mexico. Whether or not he got a loss in Mexico, those rumors, everything, okay, he could have a loss. I don't care. No, it's what he did. He was a kid, 15, 16 years old, going on 17, fighting in Tijuana bars because you could be of age to start fighting down there as a pro. He went out there with his black American father and fought out of bars out of Mexico, running out the back door with a couple dollars in an envelope. And the Mexicans, where'd he go? Where'd he go? They hightailing it, right? He went on the road with his son. His son was bad. Devin was, when Bill talks about it, he's like, yo, Devin wouldn't stay still, bro. This dude, he want to climb things and jump around. Devin's 10 years old, 12-year-old Devin. He's always coming home from school from fighting. I'm like, you want to fight? You want to freaking fight, kid? And Devin's like, puffing and puffing. Dad, he hit me first. And what'd you do? I broke his nose. And Bill didn't know what to do with him, right? So Bill's like, you know what? I'm going to teach you a lesson, Devin. You want to act like a gangster? You want to be a killer? You want to be this? I'm from Oakland. You don't want to be where I've been, son. I'm trying to show you there's a better way, but you want to be a hardhead. Okay, you little Devin Haney, let's go. Took him out there. And what he wanted to do was get Devin Haney a good ass whooping, a couple old-fashioned ass whoopings, so that Devin said, Dad, I don't want to do this anymore. Job well done. You're not a tough guy. Get in the car. We're going back home. Instead, Devin started winning. He's in there winning, right? Banging it out, right? So Bill was like, fuck it. Let's go with it. I might have something here. Let me see where this is. And Bill, being the kind of man that he is, he brought his son to multiple gyms across the world. He got his son training and eyes looking at him, like the Floyd Mayweathers. A lot of gyms. He worked with a lot of head coaches, Devin. My problem is, and when I say that Devin was really real fortunate, he was a real fortunate young man because of his father. His father loved him that much that his father said, well, then if you're going to do this, I'm going to get you the best training. What else can you ask from for your father to do something like that? Live in a car, hotel after hotel, living on the go. That's how they lived. And it was all in the pursuit of this little boy, Devin Haney. What is he going to be? Lo and behold, Devin Haney started to be a somebody. My problem with Devin Haney is that I believe he learned from too many masters. Devin Haney has a bunch of boxing in his head. That's why when you see him, he does different shit, right? And he knows a lot. When he's in sparring, I hear that he's real free. His confidence is out, his swag is out. There's nothing on the line. I heard Devin Haney's tough to beat in sparring. From what I hear, he's really, really good. And my boy Jermaine Ortiz from West out here, he had the privilege to spar against him a lot. I've talked to Jermaine about that experience too as well. There were other guys, other videos on Surf. You could check them out for yourself. And I'm watching this young man come up. And one thing I started to identify with Devin was that he doesn't have an identity as a fighter. Devin, he goes out there, right? And he does everything he's trained to do. He knows what to do in the moment, everything, but it's like, in a sense, he's thinking and he's reacting really fast. But you see, what I mean by this is this. When we train and what the coach's goal is to get you to flow, have fun. That's his goal. In the beginning, he teaches you how to protect yourself, teach you offense after. Then he'll teach you how to put it together. What you got to do on fight night, once you start to learn everything they showed you in the gym, You're supposed to make your fighter in the ring on fight night. You're supposed to take everything you learned and show me what you got and go out there. Devin fights a bit boxing robotic. It's good, it's technical, it's great form. He doesn't look like he's flown, like he looks like um he's he just has to find his identity. He has to believe in his skills. He's a real skillful young man. He can do it all. But I don't see Devin yet at it. See, a lot of people might look at when he beat Brian. Everybody went crazy. Not me. I was like, man, that was just vintage Devin Haney. That looked like Devin Haney fighting Regis Progress. That's what it looked like. As a matter of fact, in Regis Progress fight, he was more aggressive. Then he was more cautious in the Brian Norman Jr. fight. Devin. And that's how I always felt about Devin, and I still feel about him. I think that there's a fighter in there lurking. If he ever figures it out, he's going to be dangerous. He's going to be dangerous. Like, he's flowing off of these, like, this version of Devin that it's not. I'm trying to tell you, man, if he ever catches it, man, and it all makes sense, like, okay, for example, a fighter that this has happened to was Ryan Garcia. The exact same thing I'm talking to happened to Ryan. Ryan is a really good, talented fighter. He knows a lot about boxing. If you sit down with Ryan Garcia and you talk boxing, he's smart. He's very smart and articulating, knowing cause and effect. Ryan's smart. He was just too smart for himself. When he went in there, he relied on his strengths, his speed, the check hook, the body check hook, and he started getting these guys out of there. He didn't really evolve. Ryan didn't have an identity. He knew a lot of shit. He just never put it. When he went into the Mario Barrio fight, that's when I saw Ryan Garcia. I felt that it's all started coming together for him. I expect him in the next fight to even be better than the Mario Barrio. That's exactly what I'm talking about with Devin. Devin did all this without having that one element. And if you can never predict these. You don't know if somebody's going to catch on to something early, late, in the middle, or in the end. Oh, shit. Now I know. I get it. It's whenever it happens, whenever the magic happens. I feel this way about Devin. I said this. He's going to be a lot better if he believes in himself. If he believes in himself and he lets go and he goes out there, what you're seeing is a performance by Devin. That's what you're seeing. He does this round 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6, like that. He manages the fight. He goes out there. He does what he's trained to do. That's Devin. That's why he's not as exciting or as giving the knockouts, because he's still performing. The minute he finds out who he really is, Devin, and he puts all that shit to, bro, I'm trying to tell you, but I don't know if it'll ever happen. And that's how I feel about him. But right now, man, like I said, all of this, and people think like, oh, round 1, Devin, bro, y'all got him looking like this right now. Remember, Hello Fisted, email champion, Devin Haney, everybody, saying, oh, I'll beat him up. Shakur, Keyshawn, I'll beat him up. What happened? Each one of you, he pulled up on each one of you. You guys all ran. You guys scattered. And you're making them look like Debo. And all I said was simple. If it was true that Devin wasn't him, if it's true he can't really box, if it's true he's pillow fisted, well, then what's the problem? The assignment can't be hard. Yo, the belt is right there. Tiger call him sweet. He's sweet. He's sweet like that for real. He ain't about that life. Okay. I mean, what's that old saying? See a bitch, smack a bitch. That's what I'm saying. He right there, bro. He right there. There ain't no Devin Haney tax. Never was. That's not even a real thing. It's not even a real thing. That is something that a coward would say. A coward. A coward would make up a fake reason of why I can't fight you because you're taking too much of the money and not giving us any. Duh. That's the name of the game. Where don't they do that at? What you think? You're supposed to come up to all the way up here where I'm at and we're supposed to be equal? Where do they do that at? I'm supposed to give you 50-50. Xander Zayas gave Jaron Bute out of the kindness of his heart. He even said, I could have went 60-40. Easy. You would have took it. You're damn right Jaron would have took it. So don't get it confused every situation with the top guys and start claiming that maybe the problem in boxing is the top guys pricing themselves out. Something a loser would say. Something a loser would say. That don't even make sense. What you mean? We are not equal. What you gotta do is take me out of my place so that the roles can be reversed. You earned to be there. You went through some shit to get there, and then you got there, and I come up the ranking, and all of a sudden, what do you want, equality? You got to do the same thing he did. He took the less money. He took the fights, and now he's in position to call the shots. Now you come in, you're supposed to take the less money, beat him, get in position to call the fight, and the shots and the money. Where the fuck do they do this, right? And that's what pisses me off about fans. They think they come to an eureka moment in their head. This sounds right. Let me just say it. They never think about the ins and outs. Never. And they come out and mislead the fans. Mislead you. Devin Haney tags. Like that's a real thing. Bro, it's been like that since the beginning of time in boxing. Not every situation is the same. There is no Devin Haney tax. Oh my God, that is the fucking Howard would say that. You would have to ignore everything that the fighters did to get to there. You want Terrence Crawford at the time to fight Jaron Boots for what? We weren't equal. I'm on this trajectory, and you're pulling on Superman's cape, wanting a free... Son, why don't you do some shit? Why you always want a free ride to the top? These dudes went and got it out the mud. I suggest you do the same thing. When you get up there and you fight Devin Haney, and he's taking all the money, you see, look at him. Look at Adam sitting up there as the champion, taking 75%. Look at that. And say to yourself, that could be me. All I got to do is say yes. And the tables turn if I beat you. Get in position for that you can be him. Instead of trying to say, you know what? I think this is why the fight's not happening. Devin's asking for too much money. You're goddamn right he is. And if he gets it, shout out to you for getting that bag, bro. And that DAZN shit. You deserve it. You gave us all these fights. You were there when everybody else wasn't fighting. You're the one that stood undefeated, went up the rankings. You undefeated, but Okay, I'll go with it. Right? Where the fuck is Tank at? Is he holding it boxing down? Where's Tank? Terrence is gone. The Charlo twins are gone. What do we got? Manny Pacquiao in the ranking? What are we doing? What are we like? Jerron Boots Ennis, he's on his way. I just need him to. He can get them belts at Sebastian. That's a tough assignment. But yeah, he could probably do it, man. Jerron Boots Ennis could probably do it. If anybody can do it, he can do it. And Sebastian Fundora he did duck Xander for a reason. He also wanted to get better. He is getting better though. He is getting better. I think Jerron Boots Ennis can beat him, Sebastian, but that's a fucking problem, bro. That guy's a problem. That's a 50-50 for me. Because of his attribute, not because of his boxing. Sebastian Fundora's his boxing. You're gonna have to get to that chin, bro. Sebastian Fundora was going through an interesting time transition where he was learning how to fight long. Mendoza caught him over the top. The most of the shots that Sebastian gets caught with is punches over the top. It's the only way you can get to him. But wow. One time Keith Thurman thought he was gonna go in there, and I'm trying to tell you something. It was because of Sebastian Fundora, what he was doing, his understanding of distance, his range. It was because of that he made one time Keith Thurman look so bad. Had anybody else in the division fought one time Keith Thurman, he would have looked a lot better. He would have fared better against anybody else. Not sure if he would have won. Not saying he would have won against just anybody. No, I didn't say that. I said he would have fared better. He would have looked like he still had something. When he fought Sebastian Fundora made him look so bad. And it was not due to the account of he found out he couldn't get to him. Early in Sebastian Fundora's career, a lot of fighters were getting to him. And he gave up everything. He fought on the inside like a fucking inside fighter. Sebastian Fundora himself has been in a lot of bloody fights. That Lubin fight where he pieced up Lubin. Lubin dropped him in that fight. So Sebastian Fundora, he's been in his fair share of wars. He's making Sebastian Fundora. He knows his identity. He's starting to develop as a better fighter. And the more fights you give him in between the Jerron Boots Ennis fight, the harder it's going to be for Jerron Boots Ennis, I believe. Because Jerron Boots Ennis, in reality, like let's say Sebastian Fundora had the same skills as Jerron Boots Ennis and put him in against Jerron Boots Ennis and go. Oh shit, Jerron Boots Ennis got knocked out in the first round. That's what's going to happen, right? Give Sebastian Fundora Boots' skills with the height. That's super boost Ennis. That's like what was it? The Goku when they like Super Saiyan? That's Super Saiyan Ennis against regular Ennis. He's getting knocked out in the first round. you know what I mean? So don't let him get better. El Flaco, that means skinny guy. He's dangerous. That's a dangerous fight, man. That shit is not easy. That shit is not sweet. Mm-mm. Matter of fact, ain't his sister named Poison Ivy? Some shit like that, right? His little sister, Gabriella, she's a little mean thing too. Did she finally go down and wait and vacate the belts and shit? What's ever happened with her? There's a lot of female boxing going on. You got Clarissa Shield, Amanda Serrano. Amanda Serrano kicking off another women's card and shit. You know, and I have a lot of things to say about that, but I've been quiet about it. The women, you know, and the men's in boxing. I always give the women their respect and everything, but it's just funny when I see this. You know, I can't help but notice that a lot of women use male boxing guys to speak up for the women's sport, the female sport. And in fact, the where the women got their start and their recognition were on men's boxing cards. They usually the main event was a man and the women would be on our cards. They wanted to show that women can fight too. And they proved it. Hella women fighters, man. Good fights. You know, that Wolf knockout was one of the most brutal knockouts I ever seen in my life to this day. All right. And that was by a woman. Okay. So, and when I watch them and Amanda Serrano and that, she's Puerto Rican. I love Amanda Serrano and shit, right? But and then I can't help but notice that once we helped you get up here, we promoted you. Most of us boxers have daughters that were fighters too. We told you you can do anything. We backed you. Now you have women cards, completely all women. You don't put no men to fight on your cards, and that's what you're gonna say. We just want to prove that the ladies can hold the night. You already proved that. You did a Netflix thing and everything. And so it's like you can be on our cards, but you don't want the men to be on your cards. But and then by validating that, you'll say that's women's strength. And I'm saying, Amanda Serrano, you got enough star status where you could take some young men boxers, put them on your card, and showcase them. But you're like, no, I'm going to showcase the ladies. They need it. And I'm like, all right. Oh, and then I cheer every woman's fight card. But then one goes by, another one goes by, and I'm sitting here and I'm saying, you know, ladies, you should put some men on those cards. You know, like help promote our guys too. A lot of you ladies got big names, you know, and it would add to excitement, but it's not the same, I guess, huh? Whenever they get up or get a thing going, they don't want the boys to enter. But whenever the boys have a sport, they always want to come in and play. And they want us to let them play. We let them play. Yeah, come on. All right, sis. You can play on the football game. Be the punt returner or something, right? And my little sisters out there, and we're letting them play. But when the girls are all playing in their game, and the boys come along and say, "Hey, can we join?" No, this is all girls. You can't join. It's all girls. It's all ladies. We built it to let us have something. And we've been saying this for thousands of years. Ladies, just let us have this. But no equality, right? I tell my little sister, yo, my daughters, yo, you guys could do anything you want. Then when you got a father like me pushing you and get her in there, but when the ladies got their own thing going, we can't get in it. Why don't you guys stay out of it? We need some lady time. This is just for the ladies. And I'm like, hold up. Some of you ladies are not just you girls are making some noise, headways. People in the world know who you are, Clarissa Shields, Alicia Bungard, Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor, Sky Nichols. Yo, it goes on, right? See, you guys, some of these younger guys that are coming up, Put them on get them exposure. No, I guess it's not the same. And I'm just like, oh, all right, cool, man, ladies. Fine. I mean, if I say anything like that about it, they're gonna say, what? Or ladies came a long way. We can't have our own thing. Like, yo, chill. Remember how you got here? Boxing was all men. The UFC was all men. Dana White was never going to put women fighting in the UFC. Publicly came out and said it. Until he saw a couple good women fights, and then and then all of a sudden he came across Ronda Rousey. And she set it all for women over there. Then boxing, how did you ladies get your start? On men's boxing cards. We said, come on, ladies. Nah, let the ladies rock out. Then you guys get this Netflix deal, and you guys go and all ladies, and yo, I'm mad proud for you ladies. I'm proud. You guys done came a long way, man. But show some love back to the sport and the men that show love to you, that help get you there. There's a lot of struggling kids looking for fights, and you could have put them on them cards. But you guys chose all women, all women, all women. And if any of us speak up about it, we're wrong. We're bad men now. I ain't said nothing wrong to the ladies. I ain't said nothing bad about them. Women boxing, I hope it lives on forever, and I hope you guys are successful. Now, I'm not shitting on it. I'm just saying, that's what you guys wanted, equality, right? Give back a little. It's like getting these girls to take a little accountability. It's like a motherfucker, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. I think sometimes, they get to a position and they forget about everything. They just forget. Just like, but that's okay, man. I still love them. I love what they doing. Fucking some of the best lady fights I've seen in the last few years, man. The development in women's boxing has come so far. Um, and man, some of them lady fights are better than men fights. I gotta admit it, right? So I got nothing about their performances, man. Shout out to the women. I got nothing to say when it comes to that. I just, I was starting to notice something, and I just think that now some of these women got big enough names where they can help some of these younger fighters, and they're choosing only to help like the women fighters, and I'm just like, y'all see this too, like, but I, I get it, I get it. It's tough with the women sometimes because Shaquille O'Neal said it the best, bro. Shaquille O'Neal was like, he has a daughter that plays in the women's league and stuff. I guess she's in there or college. At the time that he made the statement, of course, that's where I'm bringing the conversation back to. So Shaquille O'Neal said to the women, from a former NBA player himself, living, playing basketball, chasing championships. That's a man that knows what he's talking about, Shaquille O'Neal. And he said, listen, the daughter plays basketball. And I said to my daughter, the only thing that's missing in female basketball is the slam dunk. It's the only thing that's missing. You got the dribble, the pass, the shots, just don't got the slam dunk. Not enough women in the NBA can dunk, right? So he said in women's and men's volleyball, the net is lowered about that much from the men's net to the women's net. You lower the net. So he suggested that the women maybe lower the rim from the standard 10 feet, lower it a foot to 9. And some of the women, good portion of the women could start dunking. And it's just like, picture it. Whenever just imagine on a fast break, we see the first female run up on another one and she take it to her. Boom, I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm be like, oh shit, right? Because that's something you don't see every day. And the women dunk contests will start going off. Fucking, it'll add so much. Shaquille O'Neal came out and said that. You would have thought that that would have been a positive feedback. The women roasted him. They went on saying, "Yo, Shaquille O'Neal, we're not looking to be to make the game not equal. We want equality. We want to play on the same height rim the boys play on." They they took it personal, and I was like, "God damn, was that a brilliant idea by Shaquille O'Neal?" And I mean, brilliant. And I was sitting there and I was like baffled by all the comments. Shaquille, oh, there's a man, always wanna act like women are fragile or gentle, like we can't do what you do. He never said that. Shaquille never, and it became a thing. And I was like, damn, bro, right? And the female boxing and stuff, like sometimes you'll hear me talk about things, and if you stick around, you'll hear everything that I mean about it. I never said anything wrong about them. No, I just acknowledge their star status now. They got a good platform, Netflix. Ladies, you guys have arrived. You know, get back to some of the little dudes. You know what I mean? Because it could also boost to the fight. It wouldn't hurt to put some guys on it, and the guys are gonna rock out. They're gonna do guy boxing shit and shit like that. So it was just like, you know, let's see what happens, guys. Then all of a sudden I'll get a bunch of hate mail like I said something wrong. Nah, I was just asking for the ladies to look out. That's it. But hey, it is what it is. Boxing is up round one. Yeah, brother. Yo, women boxing is up because of MVP. And yeah, of course, we know that. We know because of Jake Paul did all this. But the ladies go in the ring and fight. They actually put the card, not the guys behind the scene. And he got him a Netflix deal, bro. And it's all women boxing and shit on the fucking card. And I'm just like, ladies, like, ooh, like, remember how you got there? You fought on men's cards. Promoters, boxing thing, we took a chance. Now let's see what the ladies got. A lot of those girls were like former guys' daughters and shit. They was like, yo, that's my daughter. Let her fight. And thank God for them. He paid the way for these ladies to get opportunities. And the rest of the women that box, the Alis of the world, all them came up, and every lady had their era. But it's not like it is now, is it? Female boxing 10, 20 years ago is not like it is now. They didn't have no Netflix deal, the home of women's boxing, ESPN2. Like, they didn't have no shit like that. So now that they, establishing their little bit of thing, it wouldn't hurt to, put a couple guys on the card for them, for us too. Doesn't have to be fucking Usyk and Terrence Crawford, but some of the up and coming guys. They'll give them an ability because these girls are doing okay. At least Amanda is anyway. Katie Taylor, shit like that. I mean, you know, and I think it would just add to the card. You know, it's just watching all females all night. You don't got a break. You don't got a break in the action. It's not against the females and that. I watched their cards, the entire card, bro. And no, But yeah, would it be too hard, but it just seems like I said, when they did something together, no, you can't come in. But when we're outside playing, can I play? And if I tell my nah, you can't play, and she goes home and, come on, come on. You know what I'm saying? And we got to let her play. And she's my little sister. And when we grow up and that coach makes her cry, I'm going to wait in the parking lot. I'm going to make him cry. So it's my little sister, man. And a lot of us have little sisters, and we encourage them to get where they're at. We helped get them there. This is what we wanted from our little sisters. Now that they're there, I'm like, yo, little sis, look out for little bro. You know what I mean? Don't forget about little bro now. Mom had another one. You know, it's kind of like that. But yeah, yeah, yeah. Have I ever seen a woman's fight a co-main event at a men's pay-per-view? Yes. Yeah, I think Amanda Serrano was a co-main event at a man's pay-per-view at one time. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. Ah, where did Clarissa Shields come up? She didn't come up on all women's cards. She fought on men's cards, right? Alicia Bungardner fought on men's cards until just recently that she signed with um Jake Paul MVP Promotions. But before Jake Paul came into the scene, if your question is, have I ever seen a co-main event women's fight? Yes. Yeah, I've seen a co-main event on a man's card. The co-main event was a woman's fight, then the main event was a man's fight. Yes. That's how the women came up before Jake Paul and MVP. That's actually how it almost always was. It was like the women were lower at the bottom. They weren't like co-main events. Then some of these ladies started making noise, like Ali's daughter, or yeah, Ali's daughter, right? Ayla Ali. I think she was a co-main event to a man's main event. I just can't remember who the men were, but I can probably look it up. Let me see. And yeah, but that's how all women came up back then. And if the women were good enough and they made the co-main event, yeah, that's how it was. That's how the women came up with us. And then now that MVP and Jake Paul and them took over and the women united. That's what they first needed to do. Then the women needed to kick off the cards and get the people to come out. Their crowds are not really that big, but they're starting to bring in crowds. Then all of a sudden, when Amanda and Katie Taylor hit, that started packing in. They started doing numbers. So those ladies started keeping box, and Amanda started carrying boxing on her back. He started fighting like anybody. This person, that Cruz, fucking, she started fighting anybody, but just to keep the women name alive. So Amanda was sacrificing a lot, right? And I'm like, I'm noticing all this. I'm noticing the Netflix deal, the cards, and I'm looking at the cards, all women. Okay, cool. Go. The next one, all women. I'm like, okay, cool. Go. The next one, all women. Okay, cool. Go. The next one, all women. I'm like, okay, okay. I get it. You guys are trying to establish something. I get it. Uh, maybe we can help each other. Maybe we can help each other. Don't veer off the way what got you there. All women cards didn't get women where they were. It was women, men, women like that. Right? That's what got you there. Not an entire, like, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, ladies, you might want to add some men to the card. You know, that's not how you got there. You got there off men boxing. We helped you. Now you guys is like in your own little thing, and I don't know, man. I don't know. I just want to see the ladies do good. I want to continue them with their contract with Netflix. I want to tune into lady fights and see more than ladies too, to tell you the truth. That's another part of it. And I don't know. It's just a suggestion. It's just a suggestion. Ladies, you can do whatever you want. You know, do whatever you want. I'm just merely suggesting something. You know, if you don't think there's nothing wrong with your product, you ladies want to continue, all right, fine. Cool. You know, but it's kind of fucked up. Y'all get y'all deal and y'all don't bring us in on the Netflix. We can't be on your card with you. But on pay-per-view and all these other platforms, we took y'all in. Now y'all got your own shit with fucking Jake Paul, right? And y'all ain't bringing us to Netflix. But there's nothing wrong with this, guys. Right? Come on, man. So, look, man, I joke about it. I joke about it. It's all love. It's all love, ladies. It's all love. Do your thing. Do your thing. You know, but it's just things in the sport of boxing, man. We're going through these times and we're going through these periods in boxing where, thank you. Um, hold on, I'm a little thirsty. That's that shit I'm talking about. She knows me so well. She knew that my throat was parched and I needed soda. Walks right in, bam, soda. I'm like, I was just thinking of that. See, that's that shit I'm talking about. I don't even drink soda like that. But I got that can when I got my meal from the pizzeria. They give you a free soda when they delivered it. I just put it in the refrigerator. But I've been thinking about drinking it. Yeah. Do I think she's gonna break the TKO record? Yes. Yes. Amanda Serrano is going after a couple more records, and I believe they're fighting for her titles, right? They are fighting for Amanda's belts, right? So I think Amanda tries to stop her. I think she's gonna break the record. Yeah. Amanda's been fighting still. She's still got it. She still got it. That girl, Drews, what was her name? That she has a sister that fought too, that fought Amanda. She was undefeated. Amanda took her O. That girl fought Amanda, bro, too, and Amanda showed there that she still has it. She can still fight. Amanda lost those fights against Katie Taylor, and just remember, she's fighting in weight division she didn't belong in. Amanda didn't belong up there. She took those fights because she was the other biggest female star. And Amanda took and gave you guys the female fights, and it caused all of this shit. Because of what fighters like Amanda did. Wasn't fighters Clarissa Shields. Clarissa Shields can give two fucks about any other female fighter. She's not helping anybody else out. We all know this. She doesn't support female boxing, nothing. If you're not giving her a free ticket to the fight and paying for her flight, she's not showing up to a women's event. Amanda, out of her own pocket, takes flights, go to women's fights. Amanda was all boxing, all she was much, much more involved in boxing, and Amanda have done much, much more for female boxing than any female boxer in history. There's no female boxer in history that did all that for this. She got the women's pay up. She got them put on a main events. She got them a Jake Paul deal. She signed a lot of the women fighters. Fuck out of name me a woman that did that. We'll stop right there. We'll just stop right there. Name me another female fighter that just did just that. There is none. There is none. Amanda Serrano is, if you was to say the direct person, like, when did this all explosion happen for female boxing? Amanda Serrano. Her wins, losses, victories, 7 divisions, all that counted. And it made her the person she is today. So, I mean, she did a lot, bro. So, yeah, man. She got a bright future commentating on broadcasting. Yes, Amanda. Yes, she does. It's unfortunate that she caught her star status at the tail end of her career, and it was hard for her to, like, at a position to try to, like, walk away. And because now she was making the big bucks, everything she ever wanted, but she was getting older, estaba viejita. And I believe that she stood in the game and took a lot of fights, that if she had this in the first half of her career, she wouldn't be doing this. She would have already been broadcasting, being a promoter, managing women's careers. She would have got out the game. But Amanda felt like, damn, I got all this success. And she was already a 7-division world champion when she met Jake Paul. She already did everything. And now all of a sudden, the cameras are flat. She was like, fuck this. Now I got to really lock in. And Amanda's been fighting a lot longer than what she was supposed to be fighting. And she's losing these fights against these girls like Katie Taylor. But for one, she should have never been in that weight division. 2, she shouldn't have been fighting her that long in her career. If Amanda fights Katie Taylor when Amanda was Amanda, she beats the shit out of Katie Taylor. And it just, I don't know. I don't know when she's going to call it quits. He just feels like the time is now. And she's fully emerged into the female sport. And shout out to her, man. There's never, in my eyes, there haven't been no woman like her. She has done so much, man. She really has, man. I'm proud of her. I'm proud of her. But I still recognize and notice, ladies, y'all keeping all y'all shit to yourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's up? Y'all got big enough name. When we had big names, we brought y'all along. Come on now. Share the wealth. Share the wealth. Put E. Cologne on the card. Make him like a fucking co-main event or something. Put him on your card, Amanda. Help a brother out. Come on, man. Ladies, help us out, But anyway, fight fans, thank you for tuning in here. Another edition here of Round One Sports TV. Yo, listen, I hope you guys had an amazing time. You know what it is, man. Do me a favor, reach down and hit that like button. You know what I'm saying? Listen, hope you guys have a wonderful night out there. I'm gonna go talk to the missus for a little bit. Whoa. Right? So So, fight fans, tune in into the next episode. I'll see you then. I'm on to the next one after this one here at Round One Sports Talk. You guys have been the best. Have a great night. Peace.